What the F is up? In the place to be. Coming on this live is Johnny Mother effing Fee, not a prison. You know what? Not gonna put anything in your what? How's it going, everyone? How's it going, everyone? How are you, sir? Whoever you are. Identify yourself. You got ID, bro? You got ID? You got ID?
Being debated.
Brian Butler. What's up? Greetings. What? Who? How the comments just fly like that so fast? Can I read a comment before it scrolls a million miles an hour? Can I read a comment? Hi guys, these comments I know are already going too fast. Yo, greetings, hey, Liberty Ninja, M-Star, Corby, Weaver, what up? Bo, Mbappe, John Denicola, what's up? Devin Lightfoot, Fitzcam, hi. James Tatarian, I heard Pinellas County flipped. You heard Pinellas County flipped? What does that mean? What does that mean? Get my sweat fell out of the background. Congressman don't need to see that. Anyway, the reason I put hopefully in the title is because I called the number that he keeps sending me on the email. I don't even know how I got it on his email list, but I did. He sends me a lot of emails, and there's a number on there, and it was just a regular number. I thought I was going to call a cell phone, but I called, left a voicemail, said, I'm John Felix, blah, blah, blah. I have a YouTube channel. Next thing you know, so how about some thumbs up, man? There's 40 of you in here. Next thing I know, one of his assistants called me back, and she said, yeah, he's interested. And I'm like, really? And she said, yeah. So we scheduled it for today at noon. He's supposed to be calling me. Who just texted me? Oh, I have a prescription refill for my diabetes. All right, where were we? More thumbs up, please. What up, Watchman? Chad, Baker, Brandon, what's up? A politician actually taken to an everyday person is relieving. I agree. Sorry. Hello from New Mexico, Chile. Capital of the world. Okay. Hello from Northeast Ohio. What's up, John Smith? What city? Yo, bro, watching this on the toilet. Sweet, dude. Sweet. Why'd that make me so happy? Happy Thanksgiving. My mom calls me yesterday. She's like, when you coming, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? I go, I don't know. Probably going doing, I don't know. And then today I'm like, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. No wonder she's freaking out. I'm like, it's tomorrow. I call her back up. I go, you know Thanksgiving's tomorrow, right? She goes, yeah. I go, we'll see you there. Make sure you make pork, turkey, ham, dormadas, blah, 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 stuffing, etc., etc. Love my audits. Thank you, Larry Putnam. Road to Prison. What's up, brother? You're in Detroit? Dude, you get around, bro. Anybody auditors want to do a traveling auditor tour? Road to Prison actually has RVs, and he's interested in getting into the movement. AJ Moreno, Brandon, thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, so what are the odds that Anthony Sabatini, the congressman of Florida out of Orlando, is going to call me at noon? In the meantime, let's listen to one of his videos from his channel. Anthony Sabatini is his channel. He's got 102 subscribers. Show him that we have a voice. Go to his channel before he calls me and subscribe to his channel and make him wonder how his subscribers at least doubled, right? What else we got here? So here's one of his videos. Hit a number one if you can hear it okay. You should be able to hear it okay. So this video of his is called Nullify Unconstitutional Gun Laws Now.
After another mass shooting, President Biden now calling to tighten gun laws.
I don't need to wait another minute, let alone an hour, to take common sense steps.
Common sense, because Biden has common sense and is a common sense politician. That should throw everybody off right there.
Will save the lives in the future.
Nullifying unconstitutional.
That's a graphic of Anthony Sabatini shooting a semi-automatic rifle.
Laws is both legal and it's also the right thing to do.
I'm gonna go back a little. Sorry, I stepped on him.
Lives in the future.
nullifying unconstitutional federal laws is both legal and it's also the right thing to do. It's clear as day that a lot of the gun laws that are being debated now would totally infringe the Second Amendment. It could be decades before the Supreme Court makes its mind up. It's silly to sit around and wait for something you know is unconstitutional.
It's silly to sit around and wait for something you know is unconstitutional. And the angle he's taken there is 10th Amendment gives the rights to the state or the citizens respectfully as far as the laws in their states. That's how come marijuana is legal in certain states and et cetera, and you can grow marijuana in certain states because states have rights, states' rights. That's what a lot of the war was over way back when.
Time to stand up and fight back.
James Madison in Federalist 46. He told us what
I really need to read the Federalist Papers because a lot of people bring them up and they make it sound like it's a precursor to the Constitution, and I feel ashamed for not knowing what they are. So 5 seconds back here.
Up and fight back.
James Madison in Federalist 46. He told us what needs to be done by individuals, cities, and states to defeat federal programs without relying on the federal government to limit itself. He said specifically a refusal to cooperate with the officers of the Union. This is how you defeat the feds, whether it's an unconstitutional act or if you just don't like the politics.
I think the strategy's there. The strategy's known. It's just time to execute.
Florida State Representative Anthony Sabatini is a co-sponsor of House Bill 1205, otherwise known as the Second Amendment Preservation Act. It prohibits any
We're going to pause it just so YouTube doesn't flag me, okay?
employee of the state of Florida from enforcing or attempting to enforce any federal act, law, executive order, administrative order, court order, rule, regulation, statute, or ordinance infringing on the right to keep and bear arms as ensured by the Second Amendment. If the bill passes, any state employee that assists in enforcing federal gun control laws would be permanently terminated. Defying federal law is something that the majority of states already do in one way or another, in the form of becoming immigration sanctuaries or through the legalization and decriminalization of marijuana and other drugs.
So I think the immigration thing is they use states' rights to make sanctuary cities where they will not enforce the federal immigration law and let federally illegal immigrants stay in their cities with amnesty, even though they're there illegally.
In terms of the method, it's identical. What you're doing is basically saying we as a state are not going to do anything to assist in the enforcement of this unconstitutional law. So in that sense, the method's exactly the same. With marijuana, certain drug laws, that basically they just stood down and they stopped cooperating. And what you saw with sanctuary cities was the same thing. They stopped reporting to and dealing with ICE, and that's basically what we're doing.
Bolton says that the legal case for nullification doesn't depend on the constitutionality of the law that a state wants to nullify.
Real quick, I cannot believe that they flagged your video the other day as sovereign. I called my lawyers over that. They told me to send them the screenshots. I'm going to send it over. And when I say my lawyers, I'm talking about the $26 legal shield insurance that I've had ever since before that huge video hit. I had legal insurance, the same one that Bay Area Transparency and James Freeman sell. It's $26 a month. And when I have issues with YouTube, like the last one where they struck me, they just told me they're a private company. But I don't know about this sovereign citizen thing, the tags they put on my videos, because that term is so erroneous. And most cops believe that you're a dangerous person to society and especially the police. And then that YouTube puts that tag and links people to Wikipedia instead of the actual dictionary that describes what the term sovereign means, which is you're above the law. I'm not above the law in any way. You know who is? People with magical costumes. They get away with traffic laws. They get away with everything. Let's be honest. Some get caught, yes, but the overwhelming majority of police crimes go unpunished.
5. Sabatini says the nullification bill he's sponsoring is popular among voters, which doesn't necessarily mean it's likely
popular among voters. I'm sure 90% of people are good with it, or 75 anyway. But you know who isn't good with it? Other politicians.
to pass.
I know that at the grassroots level throughout the state of Florida, this is one of the most popular bills filed in this session this year, if not the most popular bill. But you really never know what the chances are in the legislature.
Localism is really the way forward for liberty.
Localism. So one more. This one's 2 minutes 35 seconds, and he's in the chambers, I believe, and he's trying to make a statement. And the politicians in the chambers are so angry at what he's saying that they start interrupting him and cause chaos, so he can't get out his words.
Representative Sabatini, you're recognized in debate.
Thank you, Speaker.
Afternoon, members. I'll be very blunt. I'll be very quick. This is a good first step, but it doesn't go nearly far enough. We are living in tyrannical times. Biden is a tyrant. The federal government is out of control. What they are doing is completely insane. It's time to start using the 10th Amendment, and it's time to start nullifying. It's time to start nullifying these federal laws. These members. Representative Sabatini, please make sure.
The idea of nullifying unconstitutional federal laws is really bothering some people in the chambers.
Representative Sabatini, please keep your remarks to the bill. You're recognized. He's really the president, if that was your question, but he is a tyrant nonetheless. Members.
This is like a symphony to me when people argue and shit. This is what needs to be done. Verbal exchanges. Verbal.
I would ask and encourage Representative Sabatini. I would encourage Representative Sabatini to please keep your comments to the subject of the bill. You're recognized, Representative Sabatini. On the bill, there's a few notes that need to be made. One, we need to apologize to the thousands of Floridians who have already been fired. There is no remedy in this bill to get those people their jobs back. Thousands of Floridians, calls, emails, in-person gatherings. I've met these people, and we need to help them. We need to get them back in. This bill is not going to do it. It's a first good step forward, but it needs to be drastically amended. We should not be paying attention to this question of what are the feds going to do? What is the federal government going to do in response to this bill? It's time to start using the power of our state, the 10th Amendment. It's going
10th Amendment.
to get worse. It started with 15 days to slow the spread. Look at where we are now. If we don't start flexing our muscle back at this out of control, tyrannical federal government, then it's only going to get worse. This is just the beginning. We're 1 year into this president.
John Eagle, call a lawyer, dude. We need to all either start a class action about that or directly sue YouTube for slander, because I'm not a sovereign citizen. I have a driver's license. I have a title to my car. I have everything I'm supposed to do according to the state's wishes under threat. I do it under threat. That's what bothers them, that I know that it's done under threat, and they want it to be like, no, you're doing this voluntarily. There's no threat involved. If it was voluntary, I wouldn't go get a plastic card to travel in my own car. That's silly. That's radical. The idea that you have to pay for permission to travel on the roads you already pay for is silly. The point of a license is because the commercial vehicles are turning a profit on the people's roads that we pay for, they're causing extra damage to the roads to generate a profit. Thus, they need a license to trespass on the people's roads. A license is a permission, paid permission to do something you pretty much had the right to do. A fishing license, you already have the right to fish. They're talking about commercial fishing. It's all commercial crap. Anyway, where was I? Thumbs up, man. 90 of you here. Tasha, of course they did that to you. Sorry, I did read that. John Eagle, yes, call lawyer. The rule of law includes equal protection under it. It includes everyone being equally subject to the law, except politicians and judges and police and other government employees who they turn a blind eye to their crimes. And by the way, the Ghislaine Maxwell trial is starting soon, and already they're not letting cameras in there, and they're doing them little court drawings, and it's freezing down here, man. But the hoodie's too hot. I need a happy medium. What was I saying? Totally forgot. No person or organization should have legal immunity. How about some questions for Anthony Sabatini if he actually calls me? If he doesn't call me, I'm sorry. I swear I had it set up. I have it all on record. Try me, bro. Come at me, bro. All right. Patrick DeCamber says, should seems to count for little. Stephen Mazur says, should seems to count for little. Sure seems to count for little. What are you talking about, man? Even worse, how you dare you exercise your rights. So the fact is, we do not have the rule of law, which means we're all above the law. Love what he is saying. Yeah, sounds good. Cop, anything else in the world, these are the reasons why I dislike bad cops. And good cops do nothing about the bad cops, so they're all bad. Again, all these people say just a few bad apples. Ask them how come the good cops don't arrest the bad apples. Sovereign is man, citizen is slave. Who said that? Some spread lies, others know the truth. Who is who? That's a good question, man. That's a good question. The thread is cloaked. 303. It's not cloaked. It's wide open. You don't get this plastic card, we're going to stop you on the highway. There's no cloaking about it. People just have been normalized to it, and they don't see it as being threatened. Try to drive off of a traffic stop and pretend like you have freedom and see where the threat is. How much money I paid in tolls on highways I've already paid for going to Florida and back. I believe you rode to prison. And that's another thing. Oh, that's the only video. I made a video once. I was coming back from the airport and we went through some tolls. So I made a video on the way home about how my wife was groped at the airport and how you're going to have to pay to drive by the mile. And that's the only video of mine of 3,000 videos. Each video has like a globe, a dollar sign, and a public or private. It has three things. Every single video except that one. Every single video in my whole library, 3,000 videos, all have that little thing, all the same except that one. Because I said on that video that you're going to have to pay to travel by the mile in the future. There's not going to be like open highways. They're all going to be toll roads. And they're slowly but surely slipping you into that. First, they had the toll operator. And then the people started giving toll operators problems. So now they do toll by plate if you don't want to buy their little transponder that tracks you everywhere you go. So they always know where you're at. It's not rocket science. 8 minutes and counting. Point of a license to give special permission to do something that would otherwise be totally illegal, like license to kill or license to steal or a license to drive cargo for profit on the private roads of the people, on the people's roads, or take tons of fish out of the water to turn a profit off of the people's land and water and fish. It's the people's. We all own it. If you want to make a profit of it, you need to pay extra to replenish, to blah, 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 and to balance the ecosystem because it's not infinite. I mean, I'm not a genius. Lawyers hold allegiance to the bar society, and that's right. Tax, 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 says Dolph Crane. Patrick DeCambria's resorted to only periods now. Where is Epstein? Dead or missing? It's a federal case, John. Now that's how they are. What's a federal case? The weather sucked when I was down there. Nothing but rained 5 days. Hey, you were in South Florida, man. It's been nice here. Check out Jamie DLUXS channel for information on Ghislaine and her ilk. Seems slanderous statement. It is a slanderous statement to put sovereign citizen tags on my video. You're going to DM me? That sounds sexual, M-Star, but go ahead, DM me. Good morning. What's up, Aqualung? Brother, Aqualung. I got to show you something, dude. Remember that box you gave me a long time ago? Do you? Do you remember? Do you remember the time when we fell in love? Well, Aqualung, I mounted that box onto my new electric bicycle that I bought with crypto money, which I earned for free. Link in the description. Coin app. Use my link in the description. So, thank you, Aqualung. It's come in handy. I go to 7-Eleven now, or I even drive to the post office and drop off my rings. Somebody, this came out of a slot machine in Las Vegas. This is it had a brass ring around it. So these used to come, this was a coin. It was 0.62 ounces. It was in the center of this. And this was around it. This is like a brass. I don't know. I'll do something with it. Anyway. And then this is the flamingo was on the inside, which pretty much wore off. But on the outside, it says Defending America. And then it has all the armed forces. What's my point of that anyway? I dropped my rings off at the post office with the box that Aqualung gave me, which I mounted to my electric bicycle that was paid for by crypto. Whew, I can sleep again. Where are we at here? Is everybody okay with just a few bad surgeons when they're getting open heart surgery? Just a few bad surgeons. Yeah, there's no in private sector jobs when life and death is on the line in private sector jobs like doctors and et cetera, they have to carry a ton of insurance. They have to know what they're doing, and if they don't know what they're doing, they're liable. The exact opposite of police. I don't have the monetization button right now because I have a copyright strike. But they're going to let me beg for my monetization back in December. So we'll see what happens there. 10 times more. Cops don't abide by their own oath. Yep, it's Agenda 2030. I'm trying to scroll fast, man, in case he calls. And John, did you ever get the videos I mailed you? I don't know, Don. Maybe, probably. I only have as much time as you guys have in a day, dude. I have a wife. I have a family. I have responsibilities. Now I have to make money, demonetize. No offense, dude, but you have to keep reminding me and you have to keep sending them to me. You're not going to bother me. It's not that I don't mean to look or watch or cover your videos. It's that I really don't have time. Now I get to the point where I just download the videos I want to cover, and there's probably 60 videos in there. I'm glad weed is legal here. I don't own a gun, but I defend anyone's right to own them to their own. Thanks, K-Cat. Also, you no longer have to pay parking or driving tickets. They no longer suspend your driver's license for not doing so. Washington State. Okay, the bar registry is the British accredited registry, which was still ruled under the crown. All right. Man holds no liability. Only corporations hold liability. Well, the men who... Uh-oh. Hello.
Hi there. Is this John?
Who's this?
Hi, John. This is Rodney from American Solar.
Oh, hi, Rodney from American Solar. I'm kind of busy. I'm expecting a call from a senator or a congressman. So if you could never call me again, that would be great.
No problem.
Have a great day. Come on, Anthony. Don't call me daughter. Epstein is in his sovereign country of Israel. Conspiracy horse. Driving is a right. It's an age-old right. Driving is not a right. Traveling is a right. Driving is a commercial activity. Driving is hauling passengers or cargo for profit. What up, King Salami? Stephen Mazur? Marshall Dillon never asked for a horse riding license. Okay. Only cops are sovereign citizens. And judges. Don't forget judges. Politicians. I got a guy that has researched the Federalist Papers much for you at John Fields. Good to see you. I got a guy that has researched the Federalist Papers much for you. Okay. KP Nation, Coach Alpha, Elite. What part of WA is this happening? Not seeing this in the area of Wawa. E-bikes. Uh-oh. Here we go, guys. Hello. 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 Oh, this is that stalker. You moron. Get a life, dude. So we passed 12. Oh, 1 minute to 12. It's the final countdown. So many judges based on conflict of interest, online court cases. Most judges have investments in Zoom. I'm sure any court where there's no plaintiff is a racketeering scheme. Period. Who are we kidding? That's delicious. They're trying to get me on an FBI watch list. Is that you, John Aqualung? That guy must be in love. Oh, yeah, they love me, dude. Stalkers can't get enough of me. They think about me every day. They probably watch every video. They probably watch all my past videos back to 2011. Hence, driving is not a right. Traveling in your own car is a right. Driving is the act of hauling passengers or cargo for profit. If you're not turning a profit from your vehicle on the people's roads, then you're not driving. That's the whole thing. It's a word game. Driving is a commercial act. Traveling is not. Uber driver needs a license. Bus driver needs a license. Taxi driver needs a license. If someone says, hey, what do you do for a living? You say, oh, I'm a driver. You don't say, oh, you're so stupid. Everyone's a driver. No, everyone's not a driver. That's the whole point. The rest of us are like motorists. See that box? Been watching? John Denicola. All right, it's 12:01. Maybe I should call him. Let's try that. You guys hear that lawnmower in the background? Perfect timing. Anthony Sabatini. We don't have the right to drive, which is a commercial activity. It's just a definition, dude. A driver needs a license. Everyone else does not. A driver is someone who hauls passengers and cargo for profit. If you're turning a profit, you are engaged in commerce and you are adding extra wear and tear to the people's roads, water, whatever the commercial activity may be. Let's see here. Amanda Geltz, thank you so much for our conversation this morning. I'm sorry if I seemed a little off, but as you can imagine, with special sessions, things have been very hectic around here, and I'm just trying to follow up on all calls, voicemails. I spoke to Representative Sabatini, and he asked if it would be possible to interview the next Wednesday. He is free any time of day, and that would work perfectly into his schedule. Let's see, what did I say? Thank you so much for our conversation. What did I say? How about noontime? She said, that works perfect. Then I said, here's my phone number. John, Felix. Can you please give me a number you would like him to call? His number is, and that is the phone he will be calling from. Okay. Maybe he's in something right now, doing something right now. Ooh, someone just ordered a Silver Eagle. Thank you. Just happen to have one too. Trevor. See if you have some of my replies with my phone number. Just wondering if I'm watching your live stream right now and I'm enjoying. Man, this Trevor Ross, dude, you've been asking me to call you forever. I'm going to call you, especially if he doesn't call me. And you better have some good stuff to say because you've been asking me for months to talk to you. But for some reason, you can't put it in text specifically what you want to talk about. So let's see here what the kinds of things you're saying to me. My friend would like to know if we could do a three-way call and can maybe listen and maybe learn a little bit more. If that's not fine, just wondering. Can you also send me your number so I can get, no. Hey, just seeing if you have seen my messages. Okay, let's go back. Oh, okay, let's go back a little. Do you think you might be able to do interviews sometime? Supposed to say, I said about, a question mark. Sorry it took so long to get back. I was in bed. I was thinking something on the lines of what we are planning to do, what got us started, and how we plan to do what we plan to do. And I said, articulate better than that, bro. And you put, what exactly do you mean by that? And I put, articulate what specifically you want to talk about. He writes, if this is better, maybe what kind of future audits do we plan to do, what got us started, and what kind of audits we do now, and can ask me some questions, and we can just ask each other some questions, which is how I did my first undercover interview, because the person I did it with Didn't want it on social media. I mean, more like, where do we plan to go to audit? Sorry, couldn't really figure out how to word it. So I got your number, dude. Okay. Congressman, don't call me. He's 5 minutes late. I guess I'll call you, man, to see what you plan on do and how you started and all that good stuff. It's going to be disappointing if he doesn't call. Catfish, clearly state, sounds like Stan is in love with you. Probably his old lady in the trunk. My brother, who's half native, was ticketed by a sheriff for fishing without a license on native land. Ticket was dropped and the sheriff wasn't disciplined for going on to native. Of course not. They're the rulers. Doesn't matter if, again, the tribes are supposed to be sovereign, and especially on their allocated land. You go to the casino in Tampa, it's a small property. The whole time you're on that property, you're not in America anymore. You get hurt on that property, the tribe will claim sovereign immunity because the regular courts don't have summary jurisdiction or something like that. At one time, they built this huge wall to block out the renovations they were doing, and people walking by this wall nonstop all day long, 24/7, and the wall fell on some people, and they had no legal recourse. Come on, Anthony. I'm going to give you 3 more minutes, and then we're going to talk to Trevor Ross and see what his articulate verbalization of how he started and everything went. Turning this into a funny thing. How annoying is that, those machines? Can you guys hear that crap? See, I'm cold again. I'm cold again. Cold again. Better yet, I'll give him 3 more minutes and I'll try to call him. And if that doesn't work, then I'll call you, Trevor. Woo. So many people here to hear the congressman. Defund the government. We had our chance in 2008, 2012. Ron Paul, one of his positions was to cut $1 trillion off the federal budget. And people were making fun of him. Oh, is he going to fly around in a Cessna? Yeah, because $1 trillion isn't a lot of money. You know, I wonder how much the budget is for America. How much is the United States federal budget?
According to Up to Us, the federal budget for the 2020 fiscal year was set at $4.79 trillion.
4.79 trillion. So Ron Paul would have took off $1 trillion. That would be $3.79 trillion. And a lot of what was going on there was the reporters and the journalists and all these people that are just feeding off government one way or another. They'd be gone. He would flick off all the parasites off the government. And they couldn't have that, so the media just destroyed him. The only person that really stood up for him was Jon Stewart, to be honest with you. All right, 1 more minute, then I'll give him a call. If he doesn't answer, we're going to call Trevor, who's been dying for me to call him for months. I guess he thinks that if I talk to him on a live stream that he's going to get 1 million subscribers. And it doesn't work that way, buddy. If you got good product, people are going to come to your channel. If you don't, they won't. Or they won't stay, rather, is what I should say. Hold on. Maybe they got confused as to the date. Maybe I got confused as to the date. Let's see here. Mail. All right. Let's try the number he was supposed to call me from.
You've reached Anthony Sabatini, attorney at law. Please leave a message after the tone, and I'll call you back as soon as possible.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Mr. Sabatini, John Felix here. I believe we had a scheduled interview today for 12 o'clock. Mrs. Getz scheduled it. I don't know if maybe I got the wrong Wednesday or you got the wrong Wednesday or you're busy. Please follow up with me. My phone number is
with urgent delivery, press 2. Thank you. Your message has been sent. Goodbye.
urgent delivery. All right, Trevor, you better pray he doesn't call me back here in a few minutes. Get ready. Shine up your eyebrows and get out your razor sharp wit because I'm going to call you, dude. And if you don't answer, blocking you, bro. Blocking you from John Felix News Facebook page. How's that make you feel? How's that make you feel, bro? You know what I'm thinking? Because I was shocked that he was willing to even do an interview with me. What was I saying? I was shocked that they were even doing an interview with me because my channel is controversial. I'm thinking maybe she scheduled it and then looked at my channel, didn't do her due diligence first. And then Anthony's like, what? And he's like, no. I hope that's not the case, man. You can at least call and say something, get out your platform. I'm not a mean guy. Word games, definition of words. If you don't understand what the law is implying with what words exactly. There's legal terms versus common language. The Webster's dictionary doesn't even apply most of the time in courtrooms. Yeah, you can at least say I'm sorry, I'm busy or something. Make up something. Don't just stiff me. Then again, if he's doing something really important, I understand. But have your so-and-so text me or whatever. All right, Ross, you ready, Trevor? You better answer, punk. That's why I put hopefully in the title, because he is a politician. Things don't go this smoothly ever, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go to Trevor. Where's he at? Find you, bro. One way or another, I'm gonna find you. Okay. Get ready, 'cause here I come. Ron Paul tactily endorsed anarchy, but didn't think that society was right. It wasn't anarchy, it was constitution. Only mainstream people think the Constitution is anarchy. It might be because of my content. You don't know. That's the thing when they leave you hanging like this, and hopefully it's something legitimate. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Get ready, Trevor. All right. This guy's been wanting to be on the air for a long time now. Lots of messages. Has a hard time articulating.
Hello.
Trevor.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. You're my hero, man.
I'm your hero. What's wrong with you? How old are you?
13.
Oh, my God. You shouldn't even be watching me, dude. What's wrong with you?
Oh, no. My brother one time told me that he was watching videos of people getting pulled over. I was like, all right, that sounds fun. So I pulled it up. I came across your channel and I started watching you. I've been watching you ever since.
Appreciate it, man. You're not the best at grammar, bro. or articulation.
I'm sorry, man.
You need to work on that, all right?
All right.
You see how I articulate when I'm out in the field?
Yep.
I'm just kidding, man. So I honestly thought you were like some 55-year-old guy.
No, not at all.
Trying to, and you got to understand, a lot of people send me messages, right?
Yeah, I know.
All right. So you have a channel?
Yes, I do.
What's it called?
I have a few different channels. So,
just give me one, man. I'll get greedy.
All right, so I started out with my main channel, Epic Roller 531, which when I first started, I sent you the videos.
Slow down. Slow down. Epic Roller what?
531.
Epic. Is that still up?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the main one?
That's the one I'm in the chats with.
I don't care. Is that the one you want promoted?
If you want to see my activism, then you're going to want to go to Epic Audit. That's the one
Epic Audit?
Yes.
That sounds familiar.
I sent you links to that as well.
Is that you auditing, or is that you covering other people's videos?
Me covering other people's videos and eventually hopefully going out to audit, but I called it Epic Audit.
Where do you live? Where do you live?
I live on the outskirts of Indianapolis.
Anywhere near Gary, Indiana?
No. Like 2 to 5 hours from Gary.
How are the cops there?
Interactions from what I've seen in my town are okay, but I haven't gone out and like actually looked for the bad cops, because when I had those encounters, I wasn't into activism yet. So as far as that goes, I'm not really sure yet.
What kind of audits are you looking to do?
Just kind of stuff like, just kind of go out there and
yes.
Film like anything I can see from public, and if I get an encounter, I get an encounter. If not, then yay, at least you know what I mean. And if I do get an encounter, hopefully they uphold my rights. That's what I'm looking at.
What is it you like about my channel?
I like the way you don't hold back how you feel. I like how you verbally just slam the cops. You're just like, no, that you're stupid. And so not you with the cops, but I love how you just kind of, you don't hold back. You let whatever, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but you don't hold back. You let it.
I'm unfiltered.
Yeah, you're unfiltered. You really don't care.
I do care, but that's why I'm unfiltered.
Care, but yeah.
So, if I were you and you're looking to do something, start off with safe stuff like go to the courthouse and talk to the people that are standing in line, or write down like 10 questions, roll out there with a little tripod from a flea market like I do, and say, hey, how much money are they trying to steal from you today, or things like that.
Yeah.
Or you could do the post office thing, and just when a cop tells you, hey, you have to leave, or else when he makes the legal threat, say, okay, and then you could be one of the guys who files intends to sue. You just got to find your niche, you know what I mean? And see what it is because at 13, I wish I had a dude we didn't have internet, but I just wish I had a dude that I could just turn on my phone. We didn't have phones. You guys don't understand. And we walked uphill both ways, barefoot in the snow to school. I sound like old codger now, right?
Oh my god.
You should see my dad.
Yeah.
My dad looks over his glasses so he doesn't wear them out. Epic Audit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you, when I first got into this, I sent you a message. I said, hey, that's what got this started. This is what made me want to do this. I sent you that message, and I was like, and then eventually I was just like, wait a minute. He's really good at this kind of stuff. I'd really like to talk to him. So, what kind of stuff I've heard a little bit about it, but what got you started in this before, I know you said you read a book or something in college.
Yeah, I was in college and I was supposed to be working on work. And for some reason they had a book there, 3 books by Erwin Schiff. You should look him up if you don't know who he is. And One of them was called the Federal Mafia. I pulled it down. I opened it like 2 pages. I couldn't stop reading it. And it was all about the fact that there's no law that says Americans have to pay a tax on their labor, because that law doesn't exist because it's unconstitutional. And from there, you start noticing things like, from there, I say, how come they never say this on TV? Because back in the day, before you were even a thought in your daddy's mind, if something was said on TV, people took that as gold. It was the salt of the earth. And when I'd say to my friends' parents, there's no law, they say, you're crazy. How could, if that was true, they'd be saying it all over the TV. But now, well, since Al Gore invented the internet, that's a joke. You have the ability in the palm of your hand to learn, become, and do whatever you want. The only thing that can limit you is your own self and getting in your own way.
You know what's funny is I've been into this since like
since I was 8,
July, something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't told my mom until like 2 weeks ago.
I didn't tell my mom.
Yeah, and this is how.
And I'm pushing 50.
This is how bad I was so afraid to tell my mom, because my mom and stepdad, I'm raised in a pro-American home.
Okay.
And I was afraid to tell them. So
Yeah,
that says something.
What's pro-American mean? That has a million meanings. That's a vague and erroneous term.
Well, my mom doesn't care. Mom votes. But I asked her the other day, I said, why? She votes Republican. I said, why? Or I didn't say why, but I know why.
Why?
She doesn't understand that she's cool. She knows, like, the Constitution and stuff. But what she doesn't realize is, like you say, like, they're both both parties are unconstitutional. Both parties will try to stray you from the Constitution, and they do it every day.
And why isn't there more than 2 parties? Why? No one ever asked that. And why won't they let a third person on the debate stage since 1993? So this is another thing you probably don't know. In 1993, I became a voting age. And that year, there was a third person on the ballot who financed himself. He was a Texas billionaire named Ross Perot. And he got into the debate. He got into the debates on TV because the debates were run by the Women League of Voters back then. So they let Ross Perot in the debate. So it was Bush, Perot, and maybe Clinton. I forget the third one. Or Al Gore. I forget who it was, regardless. And he got 20% of the vote. He got 1 out of 5%. He got 1 out of 5 people to vote for him in America. And that scared the living hell out of Republicans and Democrats. They took the debate power away from the Women League of Voters. And since 1993, you've never seen a third party in the debates, and you probably never will, unless guys like me and like you should be talking to your buddies. You got to get them while they're young, dude, because you try to tell an adult something, their heads already has 16, 17, 25 layers of ignorance built up. It's hard to get through it.
Well, and a couple months ago, I was on the track team in my middle school track team. Middle school and high school, I guess I should say varsity. And my friend, we had a field trip. My friend was going to go. I was going to go on the field trip. My friend was going to go to the track meet because they had it scheduled the same dates. So my friend looked at me and he's like, I'm mad. I'm like, why? He's like, well, now they're trying to make us go on the camp field trip, and they're not going to let us choose between going there or to Illinois for the track meet. And he got really mad. He started talking about suppression. He started talking about all kinds of different stuff. And he got to a certain point where I forget now, but he said something, and I'm like, dude, something hit me right there. I said, you would make a good activist. He's still got stuff to study up on, but he's getting into it, that's for sure.
Okay, so you and him can now team up. So you guys have backup. You can back each other up. You can use each other's brains and research. And as a team, you can confront and start a little movement while I eat mini bananas.
And so anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So you remember probably I would say maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, Eyes on the State put up a video. I forget what the name of the video was, but it was from 40 Cop Watch.
Well, what about it?
He went into the post office. You brought up something about the post office. I covered that video. So I think I sent you that video. I may not have sent that one to you, but that's on Ethic Audit. So
yeah, but I'm not. The thing is, I do review videos, so I'm not going to review a reviewed video.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like, I did that and I sent that to you just to
look at it.
Like I was just saying
okay.
I did that. You were talking about the post office thing, and I was saying I did that.
So,
I covered that video. So right now, I started covering videos, I'd say back in July, August, maybe.
Have you told your mom yet?
Yeah, I told her like 2 weeks ago.
What'd she say?
She didn't care. She was kind of confused, but she didn't care. She was just like, okay.
What'd you tell her you were going to do?
I didn't tell her a lot. I just kind of explained to her what I want, like what I wanted to do as far as like what I meant by it, stuff like that.
All right, pretend I'm your mom. Pretend I'm your mom. Hey, Trevor, how was your day?
It was good.
Did you grab any fine girls' butts today?
No.
Are you allowed to do that in school nowadays?
No.
Does every girl have the Squid Game shoes on?
Like, I know I'm blind.
You're blind?
Yeah, I told you that on Messenger.
Man, you told me a lot of things, and you're not good at it. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and plus, it was like 5 months ago, so you probably don't remember anyway,
I don't.
Like you said, you get a lot of messages.
So you're into girls, right?
Kind of.
Do any girls hit on you at school?
No.
Do you remember what Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, or one of them two, he would feel their wrists, and if their wrists weren't like real chubby, he knew they were a good-looking woman. That's my advice for you.
I didn't really know about that.
That's my advice for you as your mother. Anyway, so you wanted to tell me something, son?
Yeah, and then it went something like this.
No. Stay in character. Stay in character. I'm your mother. You want to tell me something?
Yeah.
Come on, people from Iran are watching, man.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. This might be better than it's Anthony Sabatini. Oh, Lord. Hey, homegirl. Oh, my God. He's calling. Sorry, Trevor, I'll call you back. Put merge and call. There we go. Hello.
Hey, John, it's Anthony. I'm so sorry I missed your call.
Anthony! Hi.
Hey, you still want to do that interview? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. We are live. We're live, and we were waiting for you to call. We're absolutely amazed that you called, and I'm happy. How are you?
Good. You want to just do the interview over the phone?
Yeah, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Sounds good.
All right, sir. So I've been watching some of your videos, and you mentioned rhinos. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. Let's go there.
Sure. Well, I'm a state representative right here in Central Florida. I consider myself an America First conservative. I've been in politics here in Florida for about 6 years. I was a city commissioner for 2 years and state representative for the last 3. And this will be my 4th and final year. And I'm running for U.S. Congress against radical leftist, demented Democrat Stephanie Murphy to beat her and get the majority back for the Republican Party. And I spent a lot of my time calling out Republicans, trying to move the Republican caucus further to the right because we waste so much time in power when we have power because Republicans just don't want to use the power they have. There's too much of a defensive mindset in the Republican Party and not enough an offensive mindset, even here in Florida where things are pretty good. So, we need people who are going to hold the Republican Party accountable, hold the elected officials accountable to deliver the political wins that most Republicans are just incapable of doing because they don't have the mindset that is required to win on whatever the issue is, immigration, big tech, fighting this transgenderism and wokeism that is trying to destroy American families. Whatever the issue is, Second Amendment issues especially, we just don't have the right type of leaders right now in the Republican Party. So replacing them is key.
Do you know anything about my channel or the type of audience I have?
No, I just heard about you last week, and I did a little Google research. Looks like you got some good conservative right-wing emphasis here, but I didn't really get a chance.
Our main thing is government accountability, especially the police, because the police are the enforcers and the ones capable to inflict harm on families, whether it be lying on reports, blue line activity, et cetera, et cetera. And our platform, for the most part, is no victim, no damages, no endangerment of the public, no crime. And it seems like you're kind of on that same wavelength.
Yeah, well, no, all government needs to be held accountable, and that includes obviously our police and sheriffs, because a lot of times you have elected officials who don't want to hold our guys accountable. And all government employees have to be held accountable, all agencies, and what they're doing and what their actions are. And unfortunately, too many people on the right don't want to investigate what our law enforcement agencies are up to. And that's why at the federal level, you have rogue FBI, DOJ, Department of Justice has gone completely nuts because it went so long without any oversight or scrutiny.
How do you feel about victimless crimes in general? Such as,
well, for the decriminalization of marijuana, if that's what you mean. I mean,
well, I'm talking about any law where you go to court and there's no plaintiff there.
Well, what kind of crime are you describing?
Like, for instance, like marijuana. Marijuana is one where I want to smoke marijuana.
Yeah,
there's no victim. That's the major one. But let's say, for instance, I roll through a stop sign. I still come to almost a complete stop. I look both ways. I don't endanger anybody. I don't do anything wrong. But yet the government still has the ability to impede my freedom and steal my money for that. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And when we go to court, there's nobody there who's damaged. There's no damaged party. There's no plaintiff, and everybody who's against you works for the state who's prosecuting you. To us in our community, we consider that racketeering.
Mm-hmm. Well, with you on the marijuana one, I mean, traffic is an issue. There's definitely traffic. I mean, you're talking about a speeding ticket. I do believe that it can be abused, but not. I wouldn't put it on the level of where the failure and waste that we have in the current laws regarding marijuana. We have such a gigantic, wasteful, failed system that's enabled the police state to grow on marijuana. That would be my focus. The traffic, blowing a stop sign, I mean, obviously, I think that...
I'm not saying blowing a stop sign, because that's endangerment. I included that. I'm saying you almost come to a complete stop. You're completely safe. No one's injured. No one even came close to being injured or damaged. They could still impede your freedom and steal your family's money. That could be your last rent. That could be the groceries for the week. And the police don't care, and the government doesn't care. They take between $4 and $7 billion a year from Americans through traffic enforcement.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, I think there's too many laws and rules in general. I think we need to make sure we have good, strong anti-crime laws, but less and more serious ones, not bullshit ones like you're describing. But I got you. Yeah.
How you feel about qualified immunity?
Well, it's a court doctrine, and I believe that if you're going to do something on that, it should be done through a statute. We shouldn't have the courts creating our public policy regarding when a person can sue a police agency. So, yeah, it's abusive. We got to make sure that we replace the court doctrine with some kind of other rule. But, yeah, no, it's definitely an issue.
Civil asset forfeiture.
Obviously, I filed a bill actually last year to get rid of it, but we got rid of it in Florida. But what they have now is a loophole where the police are working with the feds to do civil asset forfeiture. So, yeah, it's an abusive system and should be prohibited.
Okay. Is there any unconstitutional laws that you do approve of?
No.
Okay. You said you wanted to use the 10th Amendment for... there was a specific reason you were talking about in one of your videos that I played for my audience here.
Well, the new OSHA mandates,
yes,
the vaccine mandates that the feds are putting forth. That's something the states could very easily push back on. and need to push back on, along with a bunch of other things. But that's one of the top ones.
When you say the states, let's talk about Florida specific, because that's where I live too. How would we, the state, and what does the state even mean? Because to me, I feel like you need a swell of tens of thousands of people to get anything even close to be done, and they have to be persistent and ongoing.
You need a lot of people, you need a lot of energy, you need a lot of focus and hard work to get anything done. If that's your point? Yeah, I agree with that.
And would you agree that it's next to impossible to get locals to get together? Like for instance, people go to church religiously. Why can't there be a group of people who go to city council meetings religiously in the same manner, trying to accomplish the good of the people, instead of praying that you actually put their feet to the fire?
People,
are apathetic.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the question is. What's the question?
I forgot to. Let's go to the Second Amendment. I like that you're a Second Amendment supporter. What about some of these leftist arguments that it's only for a militia and blah, 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 hunting and...
It's just it's complete nonsense. It's obviously for every individual citizen. If you read the famous Scalia opinion in D.C. versus Heller, which restored the court understanding of an individual right to carry and bear arms and use firearms for your own self-defense, he goes through the history of all the state constitutions which predated the U.S. Constitution, and specifically the Massachusetts state constitution, for which the Second Amendment was modeled on, or that the language from the Second Amendment was modeled on. And so I would tell your listeners to go read that. There is no militia argument. It's an embarrassing argument made by.
I always say we are the militia.
It's for every citizen, not a specialized militia.
The people are the militia. The people are the militia. Are they not?
The average citizen.
Yeah.
The average citizen. The Second Amendment is for every average citizen. That's what it's designed for, not for specialized.
Another way I argue that point, sir, is that there's a reason nobody ever dares to put ground troops on our soil. And one of the Japanese generals said attacking the U.S. it would be tough because there's a rifle behind every blade of grass. It's about our protection, not only from foreign, but domestic enemies. 100%?
That's right.
All right. So can we use the 10th Amendment how can we put the outlandish power of the police in check?
Well, you got to be more specific. I think that there is abuse.
Victimless crimes, lying on reports, accountability, internal affairs. Why would it, if I shoot someone, I can't say, hey, I'll tell my mom to email you. But when they do something like kill somebody, they let their own guys investigate their own crimes. There's a huge problem there.
Well, that's something that could easily be fixed at the local level by having an independent investigation force. Not a hard thing to do, but definitely a state and local issue. I'm running for Congress, so it's not really something the federal government is going to have a lot of oversight of. But I do think that states like Florida should push for independent investigations. I think that's a really good policy to have.
Okay, so I don't know how much time you have, but to finish up, if that's okay with you, what do you want to do as a congressman on the federal level?
Well, I think the top thing we need to do right now is completely and totally end all of this COVID tyranny. We have to go back to January 2020, back to sense of normality, no more mandates, no more of the nonsense related to the COVID, lockdowns, distancing, masks, vaccines, all of it. Just go back to normal, let people live their lives. That's key. That's number one. Number two, I think Joe Biden, although we won't have the votes to remove him in the Senate, I think in the House we absolutely must constitutionally, I think we're obligated to impeach him based on what he's done with the border, based on what he's done to sick the FBI on soccer moms who want to go to school board meetings, and based on a number of other unconstitutional edicts that he knowingly issued, including the vaccine mandate. So he needs to be impeached for that. And then third, I think we really need to focus 100% of our time on the border. We need to institute an immigration moratorium to cut back on the legal immigration, but there's no excuse why we haven't completely and totally stopped and brought the amount of illegal immigrants to a complete total number of zero. So that's going to be my focus going forward. And then once we fix those issues, the next is going to be big tech. Because if we don't fix this big tech social media censorship issue, we're never going to be able to get good conservatives elected again, because the monolithic, hegemonic global companies are just going to interfere in our ability to
communicate,
speech, and communicate.
You use the term rhino, which I believe means Republican in name only. Who are you referring to?
Oh, I would say about 60% of the Republican Party.
I'd say about 80, but in my opinion, you're a rhino, and I say that as a compliment because you seem more of a libertarian constitutionalist rather than a mainstream Republican, like some of the ones I don't even want to say their names. You know what I mean?
Oh, you've obviously never read the Republican platform. I mean, you read the Republican platform and what the Republican Party stands for and what it's supposed to be doing. I'm a Republican. Yeah, I'm a real Republican.
Like a Barry Goldwater Republican?
Exactly. Barry Goldwater.
Like a Ron Paul Republican?
Yeah, like Ron Paul. If you look at the average Republican and you don't read the platform, you start to believe that the Republican brand is something other than what it is. The average Republican voter, their values and their principles and what they want to see done is radically different than the average elected official. So I'm a Republican.
Okay, so you're saying 60% of Republicans aren't abiding by the Republican platform.
Elected Republicans
are not abiding by the Republican platform, which is a more constitutionally driven platform.
That's right. Elected Republicans.
Elected.
The basics of the voting people themselves are almost unanimously in agreement with what needs to be done, but they're suffering from the fact that the party, deep state, the party officials, donors, special interests revolve at the top in American politics, basically manipulate the system to limit choice and get people elected on the Republican brand who therefore then stab everyone in the back. And that's very popular, and that's what happens.
All right, sir. Anything else you want to add in? I appreciate your time a ton.
All right, buddy. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much, Anthony. Good luck to you. You have my vote, okay?
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. Oh, that wasn't bad. You seemed like a down-to-earth guy. Some of the stuff we're saying to him sounded foreign to him, but at least he didn't freak out like some people. Like, you're crazy. You want anarchy. You blah, blah, blah. So that went well. Should I call Trevor back? Let me call Trevor back. I ain't no Trevor back, girl. What do you guys think? I can't read all the comments, man. I've been on an hour and 8 minutes. I'm calling Trevor back. Have a little fun, and then we'll go from there. I ain't no Trevor back, girl. Oh, what? Stop talking to that man. Get off the phone with that man. All right, everyone. Not going to get any changes through law enforcement through this guy. Well, border's not a bad thing either if he wants to focus on the border. Because a lot of what the leftist agenda is wide open borders. They want them guys. He sounds like a good guy. He does sound like a good guy. All right, that was a good interview. Trevor, you made your debut. I'd say see ya, but you can't see me. First you see me, nah, you don't. I'm making blind jokes because I'm an Australian bloke. That's not even cool. I'm actually watching a TV series on Netflix about a blind girl who's awesome and good looking and likes to have a lot of sex. Right here, we like to. If you're feeling alone at night, yeah, and God is in your fingertips, and you just need someone to call. I want you to call me. John Felix just interviewed a sitting elected representative of Florida. How did I score this interview, you ask? I called and said, hey, I'm John Felix. Hello. I'd like to interview Anthony. Okay. You can do the same thing. That was nice of him, right? Reading the comments. All right, guys, I'm done. Okay, I showed you this. John's coin rings. I can't even bend over. I'm so old. If you want a free heart scan and you live anywhere near Clearwater, Florida, go to Lifeguard Imaging. Tell them John Felix sent you. You get a free heart scan. You're going to sit and listen to Frank Maldonado tell you about his 6 and 10-year plan. And if you can afford it, or if you want it, or if you don't want it, my wife made me sign up for the 10-year plan. Full body scan detects things before you feel them. So if you have cancer and it's building and building and building inside of you, and eventually you're going to feel it, you're going to be pain, and then you'll be like, oh man, you're already in stage 2. Well, if you get a full body scan once a year, because my wife's smarter than I am, she made me do it. And even though I'm a fast food junkie, I don't have any buildup in my heart arteries or anything. And that's good peace of mind to have, because you really don't know what's going on inside you. And unless you get scanned, you go to the doctor, you can say, oh, this, all that, you know, this hurts, oh, my pinky's broken. Oh, it's not broken, man, you're fine. Look. Lifeguard Imaging. What else? Odyssey. Please watch me on Odyssey. Every video I put up on YouTube automatically uploads to Odyssey, so you can skip this. I don't know if the lives do. The lives come up after. But some of you, if you have the Odyssey app, please watch me on Odyssey. I would appreciate it. They actually pay you in cryptocurrency, which is muy bien. Cryptocurrency is the way to go, man. I got 2 links in the description. I think the Pi and the Coin app. Earn free crypto. Invite your buddies. Blah, blah, blah. Pluggy plug. Lifeguard Imaging. Blah, blah, blah. Free heart scan. Mention my name. Blah, blah, blah. Have a great Thanksgiving. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll do a live feed from my parents' house. My brother's there. My dad's there. It's hilarious. My parents aren't even married. They live together. My mom's an angel. Feels so bad. Bye. Let's try this fist bump thing again. You put one finger here, you gotta get the fist ready, and you gotta go, peace, my ninjas.